22. Welcome to Rewind
Hello.
the podcast. You came just as the Canucks were starting overtime, so excuse me
If
for
you're not paying attention, that's
I was
fine.
happy to see that you were going to be here on time.
Well, I'm sorry to have ruined that for you.
That's okay. Mississippi Burning is the movie, so I just want to take a moment of our time to remember a great man. Gene Hackman died.
Yes.
Tragedy at 95.
Some might say it was his time.
Did you hear what happened?
Yeah, I think they found out that his wife died. I don't really sure. I can't remember how she died. And then
Oh, I got that. I
he
got
had
that
like
before.
Alzheimer's and he didn't very likely he didn't even realize that she was dead or something like that.
Yeah, she died of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, which is a severe respiratory disease caused by hantaviruses, uh, like bad rodent poop or something.
Oh,
So yeah, it sounds like she died, and he didn't know what to do because he had Alzheimer's and probably could not even have known. They probably have a big house.
yeah.
So
And he
sad.
was 95, so I mean, that's pretty
A
old.
week, a week difference, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, Rip Gene Hackman.
Gone now, but not forgotten.
Mississippi Burning is interesting because um, it was Mississippi. It happened in Mississippi, and there was a lot of burning. So, so that was cool. No, you disagree?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
It took place in Mississippi, and there was
Yeah.
a lot of burning
Yeah.
area, a lot of fire.
Oh, we're just talking about the movie. I see. Yeah, there. I mean,
No, we're not talking about the movie. I was just saying, Rip Gene Hackman. He was in a movie we watched. The movie was on point. That's all.
okay. Yes, I agree. I concur with you. The words you were saying.
Okay. This Standard Oil founder linked or liked to say, "Save when you can and not when you have to." You know much about oil, guys?
Mm, no, no, I don't.
John D. Rockefeller.
Right. I've heard of him, but I didn't know he was in the oil business.
Do you know much about Pakistan politics?
Uh, Probably more than I know about oil manufacturers.
Do you know who Benazir Bhutto is?
Um,
No.
that's the question. Who's Benazir? What you just said? Or that was
No,
the answer.
that was the answer. Yeah, this late Prime Minister of
Uh,
Pakistan once said, "Democracy is the best revenge."
yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that.
Here's one for you.
Okay.
Uh, the the category is rock band beginnings.
Okay.
Rock band beginnings. It's the only one of the category, unfortunately. In the early 1970s, with their name Mammoth, trademarked by another band, this group used the last name of two of its members instead. Who used to be called Mammoth? The early 1970s.
And use the last two names of two of their
The
band
last
members.
name,
Last name of two of their band members is like Santana.
no, it's a
I don't know.
rock band.
Um, I mean, early Santana was definitely a rock group. I would say.
No, it's not Santana. They're more like an 80s band.
Uh, I don't know.
Van Halen.
Van Halen in the early '70s.
They were called Mammoth in the early 70s.
Okay, like I knew Van Halen. Okay. Anyways,
Doesn't matter. The human body. The human body.
okay, I have one of those, so I bet you I know a bit about it.
This large organ that removes toxins from our blood secretes about 1 quart of bile per day.
Liver?
Yeah, it's the liver. We'll save the rest for later. Oh, there's
Great.
only 3 more questions left. Human body, and going global. Going
Okay.
global.
Not a great start
So
for me, but what can you do?
it sounds like, yeah, the whole starting the podcast thing, tough for you. Really
Yeah.
tough for you. How are you doing other than that?
I've been doing pretty good. Yeah. Haven't been watching any shows. Haven't been watching any movies. Just kind of out here living, I suppose. Had a race on the weekend. Went pretty good. How's it going with you, Josh?
Yeah, fine. My parents are coming over this weekend. I think it's the first time they
Oh,
stayed with us.
okay. Are they staying in the room you're in right now?
They're staying in the room. Yeah, so I'm washing the sheets right now.
Will you tell them, like, oh, this is the room where the magic happens? And they'll be like, hey, whoa. And you're like, just kidding. I'm talking about the podcast. Just a little
Yeah,
bit. You could try on them if you like.
it'd be weird if the magic happened in the spare bed.
Who knows what you're into? I don't know.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so that's good. It starts our busy time. I think we don't have a single free weekend until like end of April.
Oh, you guys are social butterflies, as they say.
Well, it's Megan's birthday next weekend.
It's a big one.
Yeah. Um,
I remember that. You're going camping.
yeah, we're going camping and then other stuff throughout the year, throughout the month.
Yeah.
They're going to a shootout now. So now going to a shootout. It's anybody's game. Anybody's game.
Anybody's game.
Skills competition.
Canucks are playing who?
Calgary.
Ah,
They
Flames.
both suck. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I learned. I think we've had this conversation before, but there's 3 players on the Canucks all have the same last name.
Yeah, I did get a haircut. Thank you for noticing.
A nice haircut as well. Now, what's the name of those guys? The last name?
Pedersen.
That's it. Pedersen. Are they all like
Yeah.
Swedish or something?
Yeah, they're all Swedish. Weird. 2 of them have the same first name.
Yeah. See, I remember this conversation because I'm like, wow, the Canucks really like their Swedish players.
The good Pedersen scored again tonight. That's good.
I like that for him. Yeah, well, I'm hoping you'll win the shootout.
Whatever, who cares?
Are all 3 Pedersens worthy of taking a shootout shot, or only one, really?
Only one, yeah.
Okay.
The other 2 not offensive guys, not known for their offense.
I see. But like you could put like Zdeno Chara out on a shootout, and he's not really. I mean, I guess he would score goals, but he's more of a defensive player, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he's also very old now. Doesn't play. He runs marathons.
Runs marathons, really.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Another Boston Bruin who we like to use in NHL 15 or whatever, Brad Marchand. You remember him?
Yeah, he plays for someone different now.
Yeah, he was traded from Boston to Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
That is weird. He was a Bruin for quite a long time.
His whole career, yeah, he's an old man. He's like 36.
Yeah, but he's still relevant, isn't he?
He's still pretty good. Pretty good, yeah. Still chirping.
Still a little weasel.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of a rat nose.
Yeah.
No offense to him. Yeah, what else? Nothing really else. Just living my life. Okay, it's the good Pedersen scores. Good Pedersen scores.
Let's go.
So they're 1-0 in the shootout. That's important. Yeah,
should we just pause and I just let you watch and I can just sort of.
No, we can just get to the movie. I mean, I don't think there's much to talk about in the movie. It's kind of a downer. I'm not gonna lie.
Not the most, not the most joyous of films, really. No.
Their goalie just made a save, so Canucks.
That's really good. That's really good. I found a different Gene Hackman movie that I wish I had picked. That was like Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington. I think it's called like Crimson Tide or something like that.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, something about like some nuclear submarine movie or something like that.
Yeah, of all the Gene Hackman movies, this one, I mean, with everything going on in the world today, I guess it's kind of like on point.
Mm-hmm.
It's topical.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe, obviously, friend of the podcast. It's important to get a movie with him in it.
Yeah.
So I see why you did it. And then obviously, what's her face did really well. Frances McDormand.
Yeah.
She's
been in another podcast movie. I think she was in The Man Who Wasn't There, right?
Probably, yeah. Big Coen Brothers. The Flames scored. So now it's really all up to the Canucks here to score and win the game. And do they do it? Do they do it? Do they do it? No, they don't do it. So they continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was nominated for Best Supporting Actress for this film.
Oh yeah? Yeah, she was pretty good. Was Gene Hackman nominated for anything?
He was nominated for Best Actor, I believe.
Yeah, he was probably the best performance, or my favorite anyway. But there actually wasn't really any bad performances, I thought. Definitely
a lot of familiar faces.
Yeah, I really like Brad Dourif. He's the guy who plays like Sheriff Pell or whatever that guy's name was. Yeah, he plays Wormtongue in Lord of the Rings movies. You wouldn't know that, but he does.
No, he was also in Flies Over the Cuckoo's Nest. A
Yep.
lot of good stuff. But yeah, no, he's a great villain.
Yeah, and he's in a movie called Wise Blood that I really like.
Canucks just won.
Let's go.
There's your update. That's the game. Now we can get to the real stuff.
Let's go Canucks. Probably, are they over 500 or no?
Well, if you can count overtime losses, no. But they're not in a playoff spot, and they're probably not going to make the playoffs.
Okay, well then we would probably be rooting for them to lose, right, to get better draft picks.
Well, they're like a point out of the playoffs,
so they might make the playoffs then.
They're in a weird spot. Anyways, we're not here to talk about hockey. It's not a hockey podcast. It's a Mississippi Burning podcast. 1988 film starring Gene Hackman, rest in peace, Willem Dafoe, Frances McDormand, and apparently Brad Dourif. Now, this film we've been talking about for a few minutes now. I haven't mentioned that it's based on a true story.
Yes.
You want to you want to talk about that? You want to tell the people the true story?
I don't know the true story. It'd be up to you to tell that.
I mean, it was the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the movie.
3 people died.
Yeah.
And then they have people who are trying to find out who did it. And then, obviously the Ku Klux Klan was involved.
Yes. Yes.
Then another Michael, what's his face? What was his name? Michael Rooker, another good villain actor.
Yeah.
He's been in
stuff. Yeah, I think this movie won Oscar for best cinematography, which makes sense because there was a lot of good shots.
I think that was the only. It got nominated for a few, but it was the only one that actually won.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Lots of fire. Something about fire. I don't know. It's very interesting to watch.
Too much fire, I think. Too much fire.
There was a lot of like, a bad thing happens. And then the FBI shows up and we're like, we know who did this. And then nothing really happens. And then it happened like 10 times in this movie.
Well, it was no win for them because the town, they had they had the corruption.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing was ever no justice was ever gonna happen.
Right. I saw some critiques of this film, which, it's definitely there, like the whole like white savior issue. Where really like none of the black characters have any dialogue, really. or much of any. And no, they're pretty flat, and I don't know, it's just like white people to the rescue, which was definitely what was happening.
Yes, yep, I can see that for sure. But maybe
Yeah.
that's what happened in real life, and they were just playing. They were just doing the movie as the real life
Yeah.
happened. They were trying to change
Yeah.
events, but
I mean, I don't want to detract too much from, like, it was a really good movie, but that's just something that was just some critique that I saw, which I, worth addressing. And also apparently, like, the whole I mean, apparently the FBI, especially like in the 60s, was pretty like anti like civil rights, because I guess it was like J. Edgar Hoover was like sort of ran it, and he did not like Martin Luther King Jr. And like, yeah, he did a whole lot. There was a whole lot of like operations to like sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Like sort of like discredit like civil rights movements and like the feminist movement and stuff like that. And so it's weird like seeing the FBI doing so much good, whereas like I guess in reality they were kind of against it. I don't know. But at the same time, like even Gene Hackman's character, he wasn't like, he was sort of ambiguous with his beliefs, I guess.
but not his sexuality. But they were even called Hoover's boys. Like
Sure.
they made a comment on it, so they weren't like, it wasn't a different time. Like obviously
Mm-hmm.
Hoover was still involved.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe, real good.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, there's lots of really good performances. Gene Hackman and Willem Dafoe. I mean, they did a really, really good job. And Frances McDormand, as you said, as well.
Yeah, played the battered woman really good.
Yeah,
I mean, she was nominated for an Oscar for it.
that's true. Very true.
I wonder how old she would have been. Gene Hackman was into it.
Gene Hackman in 1988, he would have been 25 plus 12, 37. He would have been 58.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he looked like it.
Frances McDormand, probably more like 30, if I were to guess. 35, maybe.
She was born in, or she's 67 now. So
67 minus 37.
Well, this movie came out in
30.
88. Oh yeah, 88. Whatever.
30, I was right.
Tobin Bell was in this briefly.
Tobin Bell, who's that?
Have you ever watched the Saw movies?
No. Oh, but okay, I do recognize him as yeah, he plays what's his nuts, right?
See the guy at the beginning who
He's one of the agents. He's one of the FBI agents. That like Gene Hackman's like, okay, let's do it my way, and he's like, all right, and he calls in some of his guys, and he was one of his guys.
Okay. Frankie Faison was in this as well.
And also, actually, no, you already mentioned that.
He was in Chud.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
the eulogist. What was the other guy in here that I recognize from things? The sheriff. What the hell is he in? Oh, he was in the Ernest movies.
Yes, he was in the Ernest movies.
That makes sense. There's a lot more familiar faces than I thought there would be. I thought it was just them two.
It's a Hollywood film from 1988. Big production.
Yeah.
You know, they made this film to win awards.
Yeah.
Because it's based off of a true story that apparently was a big deal back in the 1960s. So
I do like that. Well, I find it interesting, I guess. So some movies that come out in the 80s look like garbage, and some movies that come out in the 80s look really good, like in terms of cinematography.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just liked how this one looked really good. You don't see too many movies that come out now that are like, wow, that was filmed really badly. They all kind of look quite good. I guess that's a technology thing. But
Yeah, cameras.
I feel like a good indicator if a movie is going to be good and it came out back then was if it looks really good. Like if the movie looks really shit, then it's probably like pretty low budget and I don't know, maybe don't have high hopes for it, but if a movie looks good, I bet you there's a good chance it will be good.
Yep. For sure.
Like I don't remember when we watched Chud, which I imagine came out probably around this time. I don't really remember.
Chud came out in like 2018.
Chud came out in 2018.
No, I'm sure it didn't. Let me just take a look.
But I feel like that movie didn't look very good.
Well, no, but I think it was a low budget film. It was like 84. It's like
You have become a robot to me. I thought I would just let you know that. I was hoping it would be a hiccup and it would just go away, but it just seems to be a permanent. Now you're just frozen. You're kind of frozen like this. What? Internet. I can hear you say internet. Technical difficulties here on the podcast. You know what happens every once in a while? It used to be a big part of our podcast. Like it felt like every second episode something would go terribly wrong. We've even had an episode that didn't come out because we lost it all. And now we get a little internet issues. It happens here or there. And we're also using a different platform. And so like if one person, cuts out, I can continue. Oh, he's back, folks. Let me hear you talk. Let me see if everything's A-okay. Oh, that's a funny bit. He was mouthing like he was talking, but he wasn't actually.
It's a video podcast. People can see.
Well, not the people who are listening, just to the audio.
I don't know. It just says like it's happened last week as well, but it just says your internet's bad. Trying to reconnect or something, which doesn't make any sense because nothing's changed really.
No, I thought you had said before that you're like in the corner furthest away from the modem or something like that, or the router.
Yeah. But many years ago, I bought something like this.
That sort of boosts your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I believe it's called a booster.
There you go.
And so it's in here. Like it's been good, but I've moved it away because like we've had people staying here, so whatever, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We're back. We're back in full capacity.
You have bones, right?
I do have bones.
It can take up to a year to fully recover from a break of this longest bone in the body.
Femur?
Yeah. The fluid that maintains eye pressure is called aqueous this. It's no laughing matter when it builds up. The fluid that maintains eye pressure is called aqueous this. And it's no laughing matter. No laughing matter. What's funny?
Boy, I don't know.
It's the aqueous humor. Aqueous humor. No laughing matter. Well, the last question. Going global is a place where you might be a little familiar with. This European nation has a population density of 9.4 people per square mile. Reykjavik. Its density is more than 140 times that.
That's Iceland.
How do you say their capital?
Sorry, what?
How do you say their capital? What do
Reykjavik,
you say? Yes. Good.
Iceland. That's a great
Uh,
place. I'd go back in a heartbeat. But yeah, you get away from the main city there. There's a lot of plain old roads and no people around. Uh-oh.
movie.
I think
Oh,
oh
again.
gosh. Is it going to happen again? 2 times in one episode? You're stuck in my screen. You're stuck like this.
Wonderful.
Oh wait, you're
We're
back.
back.
You're back. Oh.
Anyways, so stupid. Back to the movie. So I'm trying to say. I knew this was going to be an interesting movie when scene one, well, I guess scene two, but scene one with Gene Hackman and Willem Dafoe, the stars had Mr. Hackman saying pretty bad words.
Yeah.
He got pretty deep pretty quickly, even though I think he was just reading something. But
That's true.
ew,
That would be tough as an actor. I mean, for me personally, I don't. Yeah, you're just like, okay, you got to
different
say
time.
these things that you definitely don't really want to say, but
Well, 1988 is a different time, but he was playing somebody from 1964,
that's
even
true.
more of a different time.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
It is true. Yeah. Yeah, one Oscar wins seven. Oh, never mind. Let's just see if there's any cool facts about this film.
Okay.
Um, oh, another cool scene was when Gene Hackman was fighting the main bad guy, and he was in the barbershop chair spinning around.
Spinning around.
When Gene Hackman throws Pell into the chairs of the barbershop, Pell's stunt double has a different hairstyle. He's balding with a comb over.
I did actually notice it was definitely not the right guy when he tossed him in there.
Yeah. Um,
There was also like
factual errors.
yeah, there's a couple characters who had like really reflective glasses. I could definitely see the camera people in a couple of the scenes. But I don't know what you're supposed to do about that.
Yeah, don't wear glasses.
Yeah. I mean, you can see my computer screen on my glasses.
The name Mississippi Burning was the name of the actual FBI case.
Oh,
So there you go. It wasn't just because it was in Mississippi and there's a lot of fire.
did not know that.
Gene Hackman decided that he would no longer make violent films after seeing a brief violent clip of his performance in the film at the 1989 Oscars. That stance prevented him from accepting a job as director of The Silence of the Lambs. It almost cost him the sheriff role in Unforgiven, which he reluctantly accepted after Clint Eastwood convinced him. So there you go. There's a cat.
Kitty.
Hi,
Oh,
cat.
here and gone again.
Well,
Those were
opened,
some fun facts. I like those.
Thanks. Full of fun facts.
I know that you are.
Other than that, yeah, I don't know. The film, it felt like an important film that was probably gonna be up for Best Picture.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's a good film. I mean, we watched Crash, which won Best Picture. Wasn't great.
No, that's a bad movie.
But it was a fine film. It was an okay film.
Cat again.
Yeah, he's new.
He's new?
Yeah. You ever seen this one before?
We have 4 cats now?
No. Sorry. Just 3.
Yeah, okay. Uh-oh. Getting in a stance like they're going to fight.
There's a hair clip on the ground.
Yes, that's endless entertainment.
Don't try to eat it. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. Anything you want to talk about the movie? It wasn't really a movie. I mean, fire, race wars, bad guys.
Yeah,
The
that's
acting, it was
basically
good
it.
acting.
Yep,
The story was fine.
yep. I think that's it. I think that's it, man.
It was a good movie to pick. I guess not the best. Let's look at best Gene Hackman films.
I should have picked Crimson Tide or whatever the hell it's called. I saw a clip of that on YouTube the other day. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna see what this is about, and I'm like, this looks awesome. Should pick this.
Should have picked Welcome to Mooseport.
Welcome to Mooseport.
Ray Romano and Gene Hackman.
Ray Romano. That's my Ray Romano.
Royal Tenenbaums.
I've seen that. Yep.
Behind Enemy Lines.
I have not seen that. I have seen Unforgiven. I've seen The
French.
Conversation. And I've seen The French Connection.
I've seen Bonnie and Clyde.
I have seen Bonnie and Clyde.
1967.
Yep.
Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
1974.
Yeah. He's been in some stuff, some good stuff.
He was big in the 70s. He was in the Superman movies.
Yeah.
Hoosiers. Unforgiven.
Hoosier? This is the guy who sings whiskey, the whiskey thing. Coffee black, whiskey, straight.
Welcome to church. Yeah.
Take Me to Church, I think it is.
Welcome. I think it's Welcome to Church. My church sings it. It's Welcome to Church.
Oh, your church sings that?
We're already at church, so why would we take me to church? Just welcome to church.
What church do you go to?
Put money in the bowl. Don't want to get into it.
Oh, okay. Private church.
Can't remember what I was gonna say now, but yeah. Anyways, you done with the movie?
Yeah. Let's get on to scores.
Burning.
Not the most thrilling of films to talk about, let's say. Maybe we're just bad at talking about movies.
We'll get back to an 8 out of 10. Yeah, maybe we've fallen off the talking about movies. I have thought about this though, is that we don't have to keep doing a movie podcast. We can transition. I don't know what else we would do, but we can transition into doing something different. It wouldn't just be like a talking podcast. We'd have to have like an actual thing that centers around it. So movies is a great one for us. I don't know what would replace that, but
I mean, I like talking about movies, and I like watching movies. Sometimes I wonder how much someone else would like to hear this talk that we're having about this movie. But really, I mean, it's kind of just like you and I are talking about the movie. Like, Josh, did you like that movie we just watched?
That's true.
Yeah, Jesse, I did like that movie we just watched. It was pretty good. Willem Dafoe, I really like Willem Dafoe. And Gene Hackman, he was great. And Francis McDormand is in lots of really good stuff. And Brad Dourif, he's the guy from Chucky and Wise Blood and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I'll give acting an 8 out of 10. I thought everybody did pretty good. But I guess what you said about the white actors kind of coming in and saving the day, or the white characters, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have liked to see them, be more.
Yeah.
That's a foreshadow of our next movie.
This is a foreshadow of our next movie?
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it when we get there. 8 out of 10 for acting. How did you like acting?
I thought the acting was really good. There wasn't even really many performances I could really nitpick and say were like kind of bad. I think they were all good, really. Yeah. So I think I'm going to go even higher. I'm going to give acting a 9.
Pretty good. How do you like the ending?
Yeah, perhaps a little predictable, I suppose. I mean, I felt like they were always going to get him eventually.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's not really a movie. It's tough to judge the ending because I don't know if that's really what makes this kind of movie. You can't like make a fantastical ending out of a true story if it isn't itself fantastical and interesting. So I don't know that the ending was just fine. I'd give it maybe like a 6, I guess. Fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give it a 6 as well. It was obviously predictable, maybe because I read the newspaper back in 1964, so I knew exactly how this ended,
Yeah.
and it was pretty right on. Somebody hung themselves.
Yeah.
Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, Frances McDormand was happy. 6 out of 10. Overall, we're gonna give this movie a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Um, Not just because it was in the middle between 8 and 6, but I feel like this is a movie, a 7 out of 10 movie for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Let's not mess around with the point fives in this one. It's 7 out of 10. Oscar performance, Oscar winning performance. Who won the Oscars? That's I looked this up earlier. It was Rain Man. Rain Man won Best Picture.
Oh yeah.
Rain Man swept that Oscars, the 1988 Oscars, the 61st annual Oscars. Rain Man swept. Um,
You seen that
the
movie?
I've seen that movie years and years and years ago. It would be completely new to me at the moment. Now watching it.
Hit me. No more face cards. Hit me. That's my Rain Man. It's the best I can do.
Right. Yeah, Dustin Hoffman. Another Dustin Hoffman, Gene Hackman, and then the main character in the movie that I'm gonna pr- uh, present to you, also in that category. Um, yeah,
I assume you're doing a Robert De Niro is what I assume you're trying to do.
yes, it's Robert De Niro for sure. Robert De Niro's coming to your TV set in a week from now. Yeah, 7 out of 10. The movie was what it was. How did you like the movie?
I give it a 7 out of 10 as well.
Should write that down.
7 out of 10.
Seven.
Nice movie to look at. Nice acting.
Yeah.
A couple
Did it
issues
have
I
much of a
had.
soundtrack?
There wasn't really much of a soundtrack. It was just kind of like the same score, with the same like 3 minute looping score over and over. It's not 3 minute, like 3 second. So that was fairly uninspired. So yeah, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It's a 7 out of 10 movie. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah, pretty good. Okay, that was Midnight. No, that was Mississippi Burning. Next week, we're doing Midnight Run, another 1988 film, but this time it's a comedy film
Awesome.
starring Robert De Niro and the dude from the Beethoven movies.
Oh yes, that guy. Yep. Midnight
That
Run.
guy.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a buddy comedy. It's an American action comedy film
I
starring Robert De Niro and
love
Charles
Robert De Niro.
Grodin.
Did we watch Heat for the podcast, or was that a movie I think I just watched that on my own.
Yeah, we did watch it. This is, I believe, the first Robert De Niro film we're doing.
Really?
I would assume so. I don't remember De Niro being in anything else, but I'm sure he doesn't have that big of a filmography. I can just quickly glance at it. And God, his Wikipedia page is
Have you
huge.
seen Heat?
No.
That's a damn good movie. It's long as hell though, but it's good.
But I do remember him. Do you remember you talking about it on the podcast? Um, he has been nominated and won. He's won two Oscars. One Best Supporting Actor for The Godfather Part Two, and then one Best Actor for Raging Bull. And
Mm-hmm.
then he was nominated quite a bit um, for other stuff. Robert De Niro filmography. Oh my God, it's big. Quick look here. We're in the 70s. I've seen Taxi Driver. That was pretty good.
Yep.
Um,
I've seen a lot of Robert De Niro movies. I've seen Joker. I've seen King of Comedy. I've seen Heat. I've seen
okay.
Brazil. I've seen Raging Bull. I've seen a lot of his movies.
Well,
Goodfellas, Casino.
it was between this one, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It was between this one and Backdraft. It turns out Robert De Niro's in Backdraft as well.
Oh,
Didn't know
that's
that.
the firefighter movie.
Yeah, but I thought we should go kind of get away from fire, right?
That's
Um,
not what I'm picking for my next movie. It's very fire related. Put it that
Well,
way.
good. Give us a break, and then
Give us a fire break, and then we'll go back to the fire. I think that's a good call.
yeah, and it's also like a comedy to kind of get us away, but it's like a De Niro comedy, so it's a bit more Meet the Fockers, I guess.
Hmm.
Probably not, but a dark movie you picked,
Yeah,
light movie, and then fire movie.
mine will be. I think my next movie will be like kind of in the middle. I think.
Did we do Shark Tale for the podcast?
No, it's not too Shark Tale for the podcast.
No, it's looking like this is the first De Niro film
Okay,
that we're doing.
surprising. We've done this is episode what 122 or something that we're doing right now, or 123.
This is 122, yeah.
Okay,
122, 123 is the first De Niro film.
it's pretty impressive that it took that long for him to make it on. I
Well,
wonder what
Willem
he.
Dafoe took 100 movies, so
That's true. Have we ever done a Denzel Washington movie for the podcast?
I feel like
I don't think so, right?
should I just search Denzel Washington?
Unless we did. Did we watch Training Day for the podcast?
No. Denzel Washington, Your Mother Ate My Dog. Let's see what comes up.
I watched.
Oh, just opens up his mom. His mom died. Oh,
I did. I watched Training Day by myself. I guess pretty recently.
I've seen Training Day a few times. Yeah, it's a good movie. Good movie. It's a Presidential Medal of Freedom or whatever. Like the 2000s, Denzel was pretty good. Like John, um, John
Jacob
Q.
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Um, Flight. You ever see Flight? He won. He was nominated for Best Actor for Flight.
I've seen lots and lots
Great.
of clips of that movie, but I haven't actually watched the whole thing.
He's a drunk flying a plane.
I'm drunk right now. Yeah, I've seen it. The clip, anyway.
Okay, we're in the Denzel Washington filmography. Yeah, he was in Much Ado About Nothing.
Ah, that's right. That's a good movie. I love that movie.
But that would be the only Denzel movie we've seen. It wasn't really even a Denzel movie. He was just in it.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, he was in it. It was not a Denzel movie, but he's in it.
Yeah.
Have you seen Gladiator 2?
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
The Equalizer. The Book of Eli was also interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Inside Man.
I like that movie, Inside Man. That's a good movie.
There's one where he's like on a train, Unstoppable, him versus Chris Pine. Wow. Based on a true story, turns out. Wow. Pretty crazy. Yeah. So, um, Midnight Run. I think is it on something? Midnight Run. It might be on Prime. Let's just confirm.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
It was this Mississippi Burning on something?
Yeah, it was on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I didn't watch it there. I forgot about it. That would have helped.
Yeah. That's okay. No, you can't always get what you want.
Midnight Run. No, it's for rent or buy. It's
That's
on.
okay.
It's on nothing. Scruffy bounty hunter Robert De Niro brings in fuzzy embezzler Charles Grodin.
Those were some words right there. I can't believe there was a good long portion of the podcast that I would rent all the movies from a rental store.
Yeah.
That was commitment.
It's called Pick a Flick or something.
Pick a flick. Do you when you're driving around in your mail truck, do you listen to the radio? Do you listen to Spotify? What do you listen to?
The radio, yeah, but I work pretty close to the depot, so I'm probably only at most driving for 5 minutes.
Uh,
You know where, um, like on Helmcken, like Helmcken and Burnside,
yep.
like by kind of where kind of where the hospital is, but
Yeah.
before that, down Burnside and like all the side streets is where I do my business, um, which is pretty close to the depot.
I see. Do you go to the Glanford Depot?
Yeah,
Oh, that is very close. Okay, that's fine then. But like,
fun.
do you listen to music when you're walking around, or?
Unofficially, yes, I do have um, an earbud in just on my left ear.
Uh huh.
I listen to mostly podcasts, but lately I've been listening to music because I'm kind of running out of good podcasts.
How many times would you say, on average, does a person talk to you during your shift?
How many times per day?
Yeah.
Well, I'm out between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. And that's like prime dog walking time for a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people.
Mm-hmm.
So you do get a lot of good morning. And then you see the same people, so you're like, oh, good morning, how are you? And then you pet the dog, right? So I don't know, I'm probably opening my mouth 10 times a day to say hello, good morning. But then it's more than that if you have to go and get a signature from somebody,
Mm-hmm.
if you have to collect customs from them. So then, so I probably have on average 3 to 5 signatures a day. So I could be talking to 15 people.
Do you ever, when you're walking around,
Sorry, what's
especially
that?
like in the summer, do you ever stop and look in like free piles? Oh, there's a box of free stuff.
No. Well, yeah, like you give a glance, but it's never anything good. Like today, there was a free sign on like a chair, like just like a dining room table chair,
Yeah.
one chair free with a smiley face. Like nobody, and it's on like a road where there's no sidewalk. Nobody's
Right.
walking by and taking this chair. Nobody's
Right.
driving by and seeing, oh, there's a free chair.
I love the free piles of stuff because it is like 95% of the time just like, here, please take this junk so I don't have to deal with it. But every once in a
Mhm.
while, you find some really good stuff.
One time there was a whole like aquarium setup free,
That'd be good if you were looking for one.
but that was summer. So yeah, you're right. You'd see more stuff in the summertime for sure.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts of the summer. Free stuff.
Yeah, getting a tan, I guess.
Getting a tan as well. Paddling when it's
Pretty
warm.
light.
Okay, well, I've
Yeah.
had a really good time this episode.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and you probably can't see the time anymore because you left and came back in.
It's 26 minutes for me.
Yeah, we're at 48 minutes and 25 seconds. So we've hit our limit, as they say. Plus, it needs to be a little shorter because I was a few minutes late today.
7.5 on IMDb and 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. Midnight Run next week.
Wow,
I'm excited.
that's some high
Kind of kicked,
expectations.
kind of kicking myself though that I forgot that Mississippi Burning was on Prime. That would have been much easier.
Yeah.
But we
You
did
know
it.
what?
We watched it all in one go too. That's kind of a
Oh,
rare
really?
rarity for me. Yeah.
Very nice. As always, we'd like to thank everyone for listening, whether live right now in the audience or
Yeah.
at your own convenience. And if
Yeah.
you've been listening to us this whole time, all 122 episodes, I really must thank you. And feel free to tell me whatever you want, and I will try to make that happen. If you happen to know me personally,
Don't talk to me, please.
yeah, he's already talks
Don't
to 10 people a day.
don't come to me on the street and be like, "Hey, I listen to your podcast. I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah,
Just give me a tip and get me on my way. I have work to do."
yeah.
Plus, it's raining now, which is annoying. It puts me in a bad mood.
Yeah. Why are you
Anyways.
exclamating over here?
It's time to go, I think. So thank you so much
Okay.
for listening.
Thank you. Thank
Don't
you so much, everyone.
talk to me. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Thank God that's done. My goodness.